Good morning, Westchester. I'm your host, Renya, and you're listening to WC Wellness. So this is going to be my last episode, and firstly, I just wanted to thank everyone for listening. I think it means a lot for me to tell my story, and that wasn't even all of it, but it really means a lot that people listen to what I have to say and my experiences, so thank you for tuning in and listening. Secondly, I just kind of wanted to say that this episode doesn't really have a topic. This is just kind of my final thoughts, my last bits of advice, just some things that I went through this semester that I think would be good for other people to hear. So this semester, like I said, it has been very, very chaotic. It has been super up and down. There has been so much that happened to me emotionally, physically, and just academically. I was taking 6 classes, I had 2 jobs, about 30 to 40 hours of work a week, and then plus school on top of it, and then just I was trying to go to the gym 3 days a week for at least an hour or 2, and it was getting to be so much that it's in the past month since my car broke down and then I got a new one, I have not been back to the gym. I'm not even gonna lie. I just kind of gave up on going to the gym because my body was so physically exhausted, and when I gave up going to the gym, there's a lot of emotions in me that I'm I'm giving up, I should be able to go to the gym and do all of this, but it's now that the semester is ending, I am so glad that I dropped that because it's what I really needed to do in order to take care of my physical and mental health. So it's I just kind of wanted to say that it is so okay if you need to drop a couple of things in order to focus on some the bigger things. Because I'm really glad that I did drop going to the gym because it's I would not have had time to get done school or to be able to do school effectively simply because I was just so exhausted all of the time. But it's once the semester is over, I'm gonna pick it back up, and I wanna I did lose a little bit of muscle, but I kind of want to gain it back, and I want to grow. And just because I dropped going to the gym doesn't mean that I'm a failure or that I couldn't do it. I just kind of prioritized, and I did what's best for me, and that's completely okay for everyone else to do. Some people need to drop some things that are just making their life a little too hard and pick it up later in time. That is 100% okay, and I just really wanted to say that because it's that had been weighing on my mind for a while, and it's it made me feel terrible, and it's I know a lot of other people feel the same way. Another thing that happened over the semester was the fact that I kind of realized that I had a conscience and my own life and an ability to do whatever I wanted to, and it's I did not have to follow what people expected of me, and I did not have to follow what people labeled me as. Now, this has been a very long journey for me, and I've had a lot of trauma in my past with my parents, with classmates, with my friends, with ex-boyfriends, and it's they told me who I was. They told me what my worth was, they told me what I'm going to do in life, they told me where I'm going to fail in life, and they, at least I thought, they made me who I was. That is not true, and it's I'm 20 years old. I have been an adult for 2 years, a legal adult for 2 years, and it's I still follow people's instructions, and that's a really weird thing to do. And I feel a lot of people, it depends on how extreme it is, but I feel everyone does it. Everyone follows the instructions because it's we don't really realize we have free will. It's if I wanted to right now, I could in about 3 clicks, I could drop out of university and I could fly to London and never come back. Am I gonna do that? No, but it's it could happen. And it's I'm kind of finally realizing how at the ripe age of 20 years old, I have freedom, I have the power to do what I wanna do, and people do not decide who I am. And now, a lot of people have come to this conclusion earlier or later in life, and it's really a process that you have to go through yourself, but it does help to hear it. And it's really weird because just recently, maybe honestly even yesterday, I was going to bed last night, I was realizing that it's I have the active choice to do whatever I want to do in life. So it's why do I not choose to do something positive with my life? I mean, I like to think that I am doing something positive, but it's I really have to change those cognitive thought processes, and I really have to make myself into the person I've always wanted to be rather than the person I think other people want me to be. I think it is so important for everyone to realize that they are their own person. They are not what people think they should be, and they are not what people tell them they should be. They have an active choice to choose to do better, to choose to make something out of themselves, and to really settle into their own skin. I mean, I feel like that's what adulthood is all about, or your early 20s is all about. It is learning who you are, it is learning what you like, what you want for yourself, what you want for others, and what you want to give back to the community, what you want to do for the community, and what you want to do and how you want to affect the people around you. It's just so weird to be an adult and to realize that it's like the people that have hurt me in the past can't hurt me now, and if they hurt me now, it's an active choice I make today to let them hurt me. At least in my case, the things that I was told when I was younger, I kind of let define me. Like, my mother put a lot of worth on my outward appearance rather than my intelligence or any of the things that I was doing or capable of. It was always how I looked. And so I kind of took that with me into my teen years and into adulthood. And it's like, it's really important for people to acknowledge that people have hurt them and people have labeled them in a certain way. And then it's really important to slowly work through it and be able to get over that. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that like people should be proud of themselves. I was actually talking to a classmate yesterday, and it's like they accomplished so much, they have broken so many barriers, and they have faced so much adversity. And it's like, I was telling them, it's like, you should be proud of yourself, you should own it, you should just sit back, take a moment, and smile at all of your accomplishments. And it's funny because it's like, I didn't do that for myself. We tell other people to do so many things that we should be doing for ourselves. It's like, break up with your boyfriend, choose to be positive, choose a better life, do all of that. I mean, all of the things I just said are so much easier to say than actually do. But it's like, we will always give people that advice, but sometimes we don't always follow it. And it's so important to really believe in what you're saying, because how can you give someone advice if you don't do it yourself? It's like mental health is such a fragile thing, but people are also so resilient. And it's like, one thing I really wanted to say is that recovery is not linear. If you have things like depression, if you have like things like anxiety and stuff, sometimes you need meds, sometimes you need therapy, sometimes people can work it out on their own. But it's like, you will have bad days and you will fall back, and there will be days that it's like, after like the best month of your life, you will not be able to get out of bed, and that is completely okay. I think it's so important to get the message out there that like, people need to take a break for themselves, people need to be proud of themselves, people need to know that it's okay to fall back into bad habits momentarily, because we are all human, we all make mistakes, we are all growing. And the point of being humanism is you don't stop changing, you don't stop becoming a better person, you will never stop working on yourself and kind of adjusting to the world around you, because the world is not going to stop changing, so neither should you. Being able to reflect back on the semester and my growth and the changes and like realizations I've had been really great. And honestly, doing this podcast has been like really therapeutic. So it's like, I just want to thank everyone again for like listening, because some of the stuff I feel like I had to say in order for me to follow it. And I also feel like it's really important for other people to hear this stuff, because a lot of things that I struggle with, I know a lot of other people do struggle with, but sometimes they're not willing to talk about it because it is embarrassing. It is vulnerability, and being vulnerable with yourself, with partners, with your professors, with your friends, it can be such a difficult thing to do, because we are all afraid, we are all fearful human beings, and that's okay, but sometimes we all have fears to overcome, and it's important to overcome them, be proud that you've overcome them, and to help other people. I think like if the whole world was listening to this podcast, and if I had like one chance to say something that really impacted people's lives, I think it would be honestly learn to be comfortable with yourself and learn to love yourself. Like all of your insecurities, all of your bad moments, all of your good moments, all of your accomplishments, all of the amazing things you do. Love yourself, the good and the bad, the scared and the brave. This is something that's like widely known. This is something that's like everyone says. This is something that like everyone hears all the time. But I think it is very important to say and to reiterate, to get it into people's brains. But it's like you cannot accept love, you cannot love others, and you cannot love the world around you if you do not love yourself. And it's like my belief, and people's beliefs might differ, and that's okay, but my core belief is that love is at the root of everything. I mean, it doesn't have to be romantic love, it can be platonic love. I don't know what other types of love there are out there, but it's like love for the world, love for just waking up in the morning, love for the little life you have, love for the little things like going to the store, hanging out with your friends, making dinner. The world is based on love, and it's so hard to wake up and have that feeling of peace, of love, of everything being okay when you don't love yourself. It's like if you wake up and you have so many turbulent emotions, if you have so much anger towards the world, towards people that have hurt you, towards all of those different kinds of things, it's like it is so hard to wake up and to continue going and moving on and accomplishing so many great things because it's like you just don't love yourself. And that journey to loving yourself is going to look different for everyone. It's going to be different timelines, it's going to be different ages, it's going to be different like experiences, and that's completely okay. That's what it's supposed to be. Everyone is supposed to be different, everyone's supposed to look different, everyone's supposed to have different pasts, but it's so important to be able to eventually get there and to work through all of this stuff that weighs you down. Life is about progress, it's about falling back, it's about learning, it's about experiencing good and bad things, and it's about being able to love yourself, the world, and the people around you after everything happens. I guess one last thing that I wanted to say while I have like a platform, while I have viewers, while I have people that listen to me, while I have the ability to put something out there, is that it's going to be okay, and it's